Hey, how's it going? Steve here from Insight Video Marketing. Hope everyone's well. In this video, I wanted to talk to you quickly about the pros and cons of using a smartphone to create marketing videos within your business. It's a very powerful piece of kit, and when you use it correctly, you can get incredible results, but there's a few things you should think about before starting to start filming with one. So the first con I want to talk about is battery life. When you start to use your phone for filming, the battery can deplete very, very quickly. And when you're filming, what you want to avoid is maybe if you're interviewing someone and they're giving you a glowing testimonial about how great your company is, and they're talking about how much you've helped them and the amazing results your service has managed to get them. Halfway through that great interview, your phone dies, loses its battery, and that's that. You lose that kind of bit of content because you haven't saved it. Something like that would be really irritating, and you want to avoid that. So there's a couple of ways you can avoid that. So if you're filming internally or inside, maybe you're filming in your office or something like that, of course, when you're using your phone, you can have it connected to your battery charger, connected to the mains, and you're good to go. Your phone will stay charged and won't turn off halfway through. If you're out and about, it can be a little bit more tricky, obviously, to plug in, but you can get these big power packs now, which are incredible. I went up Kilimanjaro recently, and I took one with me to charge my big Sony camera batteries. And these power packs, they just last forever. They're fantastic. So if you're out and about filming, or you want to be a bit more mobile with your filming when you're indoors, those power packs are invaluable. Really, really, really useful bit of kit to have for your kind of smartphone filmmaking kit. So let's move on to the next kind of con when it comes to smartphone videos. And that is around storage space. So some phones you're kind of limited. So I know iPhones, you're limited to whatever amount of gigabytes you buy when you get the phone. So 32, 64, 128 gigabytes, which can be annoying because obviously you can't increase that. You're just kind of stuck with that amount. So when you're filming with your smartphone, you just need to be really aware of how much space you've got free on your smartphone, and be aware that videos do take up a lot of space. So if you start filming for maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes, that can very quickly fill up your space. So if you're going to spend some time filming, just make sure that you clear some space on your device, basically. And we're going to be bringing out a couple of videos very, very soon about the best ways you can do that, whether you're using an iPhone or an Android phone. So if you're interested in that, make sure you subscribe to our channel, and we'll be releasing those very soon, so you'll get alerted when they come out. But yeah, just make sure that you kind of clear out the clutter, basically. We're all members of about 15 different WhatsApp groups who are sending GIFs and images and videos all the time, and all of that stuff starts to accumulate on your phone. And actually, you'd probably find if you delete all of that stuff, you got a couple of gigabytes free, which is great. So, and like I say, the last thing you want is to run out of space halfway through a great piece of content that you're creating, and find that you spent the last 5 minutes talking without actually filming anything. So moving on to con number 3, and that is the kind of the control you get from your phone's native camera app. And essentially, when you're filming yourself, you need to have a lot of control over the focus, over the color of the image, over how much exposure you have. And those native apps generally don't give you that much control. It is getting better with more modern phones. You do get a lot more control than you used to. I'm using a Galaxy S7 Edge. I think if I put this on professional mode, I do get a little bit more control over my camera. But I do recommend, if you are doing quite a bit of filming and making some marketing videos with your phone, I do recommend you get a third-party app. One that I use quite a lot is called Filmic Pro. Again, we'll be putting a tutorial for that on the channel very soon. So make sure you subscribe to us, and you'll get alerted when that comes out too. These native apps just give you a lot more control, and you can also kind of squeeze every last bit of quality out of the camera as well. The native apps don't necessarily give you full camera quality. Moving on then, con number 4. It's the low light situation. So phone cameras are very small, and therefore the sensors that kind of capture the image for you as well are very small too. And what that means is, in order to get a really nice, crisp, sharp image from your camera, you need a lot of light coming into the camera. you can't film in rooms which are dark and dingy. You need to make sure that you've either got a room that's got lots and lots of natural light coming in, or you've got some artificial lights, so maybe you've got some LED lights or some just everyday house lamps. As soon as you start trying to film in darker rooms, the camera has to work really, really hard to get the light through into the sensor, so you've got an image. And what then happens is you start to get like noisy, grainy image, and it doesn't look very good. And if you're a business trying to portray a certain quality, a certain professional quality, you need to make sure your videos kind of show that as well. So, having grainy images and dirty looking footage, that's not representing your business properly. So making sure you've got the right lighting, so your camera can give you the best image possible, is really, really important. And that's kind of the last con. So there's not many. There's certainly a lot more positives to using a smartphone for your marketing videos than there are cons. So let's move on to the positives then. So first of all, obviously we've all got one. Most of us have got one at least. And what that means is that, first of all, we're all familiar with them, which is great. So, if I point this at you like this, and I say, can I film you? You're used to seeing a phone kind of being used for filming and photos and stuff like that. We see them all the time. So you immediately break down a barrier. If I were to point my big cinema camera at you and say, right, I'm going to interview you about this business, you might feel quite intimidated. But these phones are so compact and small that actually, it's great because people are used to them. So if you kind of put this in front of someone and say, right, I'm going to just ask you some questions, they won't mind that that's there because they're so used to seeing them, which means you can get much better sort of answers from interviews. Or if you're filming yourself, it's far less intimidating sitting in front of a mobile phone camera than it is a big sort of cinema camera. So that's great, we're familiar with them. So that's one of the positives. The image quality on these cameras from phones is getting so good. It's worrying how good it's becoming. It's enabling people everywhere to create really, really good looking videos, and it's making it far easier each time a new camera comes out. That image quality gets better and better. And like I say, image quality is important because you want to portray yourself in a certain way, and I think your videos looking as good as they possibly can is really important in getting that done. You don't need the most up-to-date one, so this phone that I've got here is a Galaxy S7 Edge. I think they're on the Galaxy S10 now, so this is a fair few years old now, and it works fine. I'm still using it every now and then. I'm using it for some kind of off-the-cuff videos that I'm putting onto LinkedIn and social media, and it works really well. It looks good enough. It looks professional enough to get by and use. The more up-to-date your phone is, of course, the more features you've got, the better quality the image is going to become. But at the end of the day, you don't have to invest in the most up-to-date phone in order to get this good quality. They're really easy to learn. So, once we're all familiar with the camera apps that come with phones. So once you've got the kind of third-party app installed on your phone and you've looked into that and you've kind of learned a little bit about how that works, the learning curve is really quite shallow compared to learning something like how to set up a DSLR and make it easy for you to film yourself. Putting yourself in front of camera and spending loads of time learning a big camera like a DSLR, people don't necessarily have the right amount of time to do that. Whereas these, like I say, these are really, really easy to learn. So again, very big positive. And they're really quick to set up. So a lot of us have really busy lives. We don't want to spend ages and ages setting up cameras and things like that. A lot of the time we can put our phone, as long as we get our kind of framing right and our exposure right, we can put our phone there and we can just pretty much start recording, especially once you've done it a few times, you know how to set everything up. It becomes so easy and it's really quick. So you can do those off-the-cuff videos where an idea comes to their mind and you're like, right, I need to film something. You put your camera up, put your phone up, start filming, and you've got yourself a video. As long as the content you're creating in those videos is good, this phone is... phone cameras in general are really, really useful. So, there's some very good positives there. And I definitely think that those outweigh the negatives, absolutely. So that's it, the pros and cons of using a smartphone for your marketing. Now, it's all well and good having the phone, having the good quality and things like that. But the one thing to always, always, always remember when you're doing any kind of marketing is that it's not necessarily how good it looks, but it's the value and the quality of the content you're actually giving to your audience, which really, really matters. So get your image looking as good as you possibly can, using the right lighting, getting the sound right and things like that. But ensure that the content you're making is also of value to people. There's no point in putting content out there that doesn't serve a purpose. So there we are, absolutely, by all means, do your own DIY video marketing with your smartphone. Just bear in mind those cons and the solutions that go with them, and make sure that you're setting everything up for success, and you will be on your way to video marketing success. So there we are. Anyway, I've been Steve from Insight Video Marketing. If you've enjoyed the video, of course, like, subscribe and comment below. Let us know how you're getting on with your video marketing and your own personal kind of marketing in your business. And until next time, I'll see you soon. Cheers.